What's up, ladies? It is not Wednesday. It is Thursday, but it's been a crazy week, and I couldn't record the video yesterday. Today I'm actually in Washington, D.C. So last week in Miami, came back to New York. You can tell that I'm a little bit under the weather. I'm feeling better now, but that that rain that I got on Thursday wasn't very good for me, and then all the airplanes. It's just a crazy, crazy week. But now I'm here in Washington. I'm gonna go visit some clients later. But I thought this is such an important topic. Hey, Mariel. Good morning. Thank you for watching. And good, you caught it because I'm gonna be talking about sugar. So very important topic for everyone. And I have about 20 minutes or so before my client gets here. So this is a perfect timing to do this. Three things that I want to do. The first one is talk a little bit about sugar. So the what is actually happening in our body when it comes to sugar, when it comes to how do we actually digest it. Then I want to talk about our whys. I want to talk about why should you continue to eat sugar as we know it or not. Hey, Leticia, I'm so happy you joined. I'm sure you're on your way to work. So it's going to be an interesting topic. Oh, Ju is on. Ju is also driving. Yay. Okay. Interesting topic again, sugar. Very important for all of us, dealing with digestive issues, but also if you or somebody in your family has diabetes or pre-diabetics, not even that, but if you've been diagnosed with MS, Hashimoto's, I know some of you have, IBS, like everything is essentially related to sugar. So this is going to be very interesting for us to discuss. So what I was telling you is that I'm going to talk about three things. The what, so what's actually happening in our body when we eat sugar. Two, the why. What's our why? What's our why to actually make a change in our diets? And the third thing is how. So what can we actually put into practice? Okay, so here we go. Every time we eat something, right, whether it is your orange juice that is freshly squeezed, your green smoothie or an egg or whatever, there's going to be a spike in your blood sugar, in the sugar in your blood. And that's normal, okay? But what's been happening is that those, instead of being kind of like peaks and valleys, right? So you eat something, then your sugar goes up and then it goes down. Now, all of a sudden, they becoming mountains and like beaches. So it's like this, up, oh my God, I ate sugar, I'm so energized, and then down, like, oh my God, I'm crushing, I have a headache, I feel so bad. So that's not what we want. Our body, and this is something that if you work with me or if you've seen my videos before, our bodies, it wants balance. And we are the only ones that can find the balance, and we are the only ones that can recognize what works for us and what doesn't. So it doesn't matter how good your holistic practitioner is or how good your doctor is. You are the one that has to find the balance for your body. And we are here, especially me, that's kind of like my mission, to guide you through do that. Okay? So let's talk about the what happens. So let's say I eat bread with jam, right? Like a strawberry jam. So I start eating it, and as you know, the digestion process starts in your mouth with the mechanical processing by chewing. For the carbohydrates, some enzymes are released in the mouth so that we can start breaking down the food. Then once we swallow it, it goes down in our tract. Then it goes to our stomach where it starts more of the digestive system, more enzymes are actually being released, there are some acids there, and then it goes into our small intestine. When it goes into the small intestine, that's when the absorption of the nutrients happen. And remember, the small intestine is behind your belly button. So it's good for you to know because, again, if you feel like there's some inflammation there, or sometimes we think that that's where our stomach is, and that's not where our stomach is, that's where our small intestine is. Our stomach is more to the left and up, right? So below the rack, costillas, I don't know how to say it in English, but you guys know, costillas, how do you, it's kind of like behind your costillas, but I can't think about the name in English. Whatever, doesn't really matter. The point is, in the small intestine is when we start absorbing the nutrients. So once the nutrients get absorbed and they go into the bloodstream, what happens? A healthy pancreas is going to release the insulin hormone. And the insulin hormone is, think about it as a sweeper. So it gets so we have the sugar molecule, which has been decomposed, and now it became the glucose in our blood. So we got the insulin that is swiping the glucose and is swiping it into our cells. So our cells, they kind of like a door opens up and they will, ribs, thank you, Ju, that's what it was. So the stomach is really actually kind of like a little bit behind our ribs on the left hand side. Okay, so thank you, Ju. So back again to the glucose. So once the glucose, it's being swept and the cells are actually kind of like a door opens up and they absorb it, and then we use that for a process to recover the cells, to grow into like normal mechanisms that the body has to do. But that's kind of like our energy, the glucose. So once the cells gets it, we feel satisfied, we're happy, we have energy. Now, what happens when there is so much sugar in our blood? The pancreas starts sending lots and lots and lots of insulin. And then, so there's too much insulin, and that's when the problem starts. The cells don't want any more glucose, like it's full. You start sweeping, and then they're like, nope, I don't want any more. So what happens is the insulin starts storing the sugar into fat. And so there you go, guys. You probably didn't know this, but excess sugar becomes fat. So fat, think about olive oil and think about all the fats that we have. Yeah, that doesn't necessarily become fat, but sugar, excess amount of sugar in our blood gets stored as fat. So this is very important for us to keep in mind. And so not only does that happen when there is an excess of insulin, but also since the pancreas is pumping so much insulin, sometimes we can get low blood sugar just because all of a sudden now there's too much insulin, and then we feel like, oh my God, I need more sugar, and I have cravings, and I'm hungry, and I'm tired. It's because there's sometimes too much insulin in our blood. So again, this is going back to finding a balance between when is it too much and when is it too little. And then so what happens as well is we became propense to obesity, right? Because as fat is being stored, as insulin is being stored, hi Pame, good morning, as fat, then we became more propense to obesity, and we have cravings, we're hungry all the time and tired. So this is the importance of having a balanced blood sugar level. So I wanted to talk to you guys also about the why. So what does all of this mean? It means that you really have to consider how sugar is affecting your health. So it's not only that we have more propensity to obesity, but as you know, sugar actually it's considered to be the food for cells that can become cancerogenous. So not only you can become diabetic, pre-diabetic, but also cancerogen. I mean, it can also feed the cells that can become cancerogenous. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that now the consumption of sugar is also related to hormone problems, candida as well. So it's a lot of issues that come from just eating sugar. And when I talk about sugar, people are like, I don't eat white sugar. But it doesn't mean necessarily just white sugar. We're talking about carbs, we're talking about your bread, we're talking about the rices, we're talking about the pastas, all of that. It's actually considered, and it's actually processed by our body as sugar. And then another thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, for me, this kind of like, oh my God, I don't want to eat white sugar anymore. I don't want to eat this thing anymore. Because as part of the process of actually filtering the sugar, once it leaves the sugar cane and it's processed, the last step is to put it through bone shards. So essentially they will get animal bones, making a shard, and then they will filter the sugar through bone shards. So once I heard that, I'm like, I'm gonna post a picture that talks about it. So once I heard that, I'm like, I don't want to eat sugar that is actually has been passed through or has been filtered by animal bones. So that's not for me. But if that helps you kind of like stay away from white sugar, I thought I would share that with you guys. And so the last thing that I wanted to talk about, so once you know what's happening, now you have to have your why. Why do I really want to stay away from sugar or trying to keep my balance, my blood sugar balanced? Then we're going to talk a little bit about how. So how do we do this? We do need sugar, right? So sugar, one of the things that does to our bodies is it releases a brain chemic which is called dopamine, and dopamine is that feeling of, oh my god, feeling pleasant, feeling that you accomplished something, feeling relieved, feeling motivated. So that's what sugar does to you as well. So the point here is not to remove it at all, and that's why some of the diets that are just like, oh, no sugar, it's not good, because you eventually crash because our body does need to feel the sweet taste. So I'm going to give you 3 options. One is to eat low glycemic index sugars, and the 3 options there will be either coconut sugar or stevia. Those are your 2 options actually, really. So coconut sugar or stevia are better choices than just regular white sugar. And also, we need to add vitamin A and D into your diets, because that helps synthesizing the process of dopamine, the release of dopamine. So if you have the sugars, if you have the sweet taste, by having vitamin A and D, it's going to help you process that and release that brain chemic. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that by eating rich foods that are such as avocado, bananas, sesame seeds, pumpkin seeds, all of these things have quercetin, and quercetin is actually a good way to help us control the blood sugar in our body. So your 3 options are the following. What are the 3 things that you can do when it comes to, first of all, avoid white sugars, processed foods, right? So pastas, breads, pastas and breads, and rice specifically. Rice, for me, it's kind of like the best one of the 2. It's gluten-free and it's not as bad as the other 2, but still. And then replace your regular sugar for either coconut sugar or stevia. And then the third thing is try to add some vitamin A and vitamin D to your diet as well. And then the last one is to add foods such as avocados, almonds, sesame seeds, pumpkin seeds, and all of these foods that actually help you balance the level in your blood, the blood sugar level. So that's I wanted to talk so much, guys, about sugar. I feel like it's a topic that we're going to continue to talk about. For now, the one thing that I ask you to do is really start thinking consciously every time you're going to eat. I know we always think about carbs, fats, and fibers, but now I try to think about, okay, are the carbs going to be more processed, right? So more white carbs, or do they have more fiber, right? So what I mean by that is all your whole wheats are good. When it comes to breads, the more seeds it have, the better. And just really, really try to stay away from just your regular white carbs, right? So pastas and regular bread and rice as well. So think about that. Also think about every time you're eating candy, you're eating sugar that is probably being processed with and through bones of animals. So that's one thing that I'm going to throw it out there. And then, so Ju is asking, is raw honey okay? Yes. So that's one thing that I was going to say. Raw honey, for me, it's what I usually use. Again, I'm not pre-diabetic. I am not, my blood sugars, I've been on a good diet for almost 5 years now. And so I kind of like have it more or less figured out for myself. But if you're really trying to cut, Ju, I don't know if you remember when we did our program, I asked you to stay away from sugar as much as you could for 2 weeks or so. So that's what I want you to do. And for 2 weeks or so, if you can use stevia instead, and then you can add the raw sugar little by little once you have more of a more control of your blood sugar level, and really identifying, oh my God, am I really craving, is this a crave for sugar? Or it's just that I'm hungry and I want to add something into my body so that I can control it and not go back into the mountains and the beaches, but have more of peak and valleys type of blood sugar level. Does that help you? Again, if you're trying to really get, for you, I think it does because you already are kind of like eating a healthier diet. So again, if you're not addicted to sugar or as addicted to sugar, and you already have a more of a clean diet, then raw honey is one of my favorite ways to add some sweet into my diet. But if you're starting from scratch, I will stay away from raw honey and just try to replace it with stevia if you can have stevia, or coconut sugar. And again, just a little bit. And I think the huge issue is not really with sugar, because when you ask people, it's funny because when you ask people, it's like, do you eat sugar? They're like, no, I really don't eat sugar. And then I do the eat, feel, and go challenge, and it's really like, oh my God, all the flavors that they have is sweet. And so that really opens up my mind, and opens up the people's mind, where like, oh my God, yeah, I don't eat sugar necessarily, but I do eat breads or pastas. The fructose in the fruit is also considered sugar, and that also can spike your levels of sugar. So I would recommend, if you want to try to stay for 2 weeks with a very kind of like low sugar diet, to go and get the berries, right? So the blueberries, the raspberries, those are the ones with the low glycemic index, less amount of sugar, and that will help you kind of like control your blood sugar levels. Yes, I remember I've been craving a lot of sugar lately. I will use more stevia then. Sure, but then again, this is my thought process here is like, okay, why are you craving more sugar lately? Are you stressed? Are you not sleeping well? Are you not eating well? It's probably one of the two combination, because if you slept well, you had a good breakfast, like a smoothie, for instance, with good fats, you added an avocado on top, you're probably not going to be craving so much sugar towards the end of the day. Now, if you were late studying, right, I know you. So if you were late studying, didn't catch up a good night's sleep, woke up, skipped breakfast, had a fried lunch. Because also the other thing, fried food, it really kind of like makes you, well, at least to me, but when I have fried food or very spicy food, then it's like it allows, it's like, oh my God, I need something sweet. Like I need to, this is so spicy or so salty, I need something to kind of like counterbalance it. And that's why in the Eat, Feel, Go challenge, once you get your reports, you see, are you eating the 5 flavors? Most people are eating sweet food. Are you eating, and so that's what happens. If you're eating mostly sweets, but then some people are also eating a lot of spicy foods, and then they're craving sweet food. So, but if we have a balance in a meal, then you're going to see how your cravings are actually going to go down. Stress for sure, yeah. So there you go, stress. And also, like I was talking to Lena the other day, and she told me, oh, I also noticed that when I have my period, or when it's going to come, oh my God, I crave chocolate and crave sugar like crazy. And that is so true as well. That happens to me too, and it happens to all of us, I'm sure. So what I do, and this is a quick recipe that I wanted to share with you guys, is I will get a little bit of raw honey, let's say a spoon, put a little bit of cacao powder, organic cacao powder, nothing with milk, it's just cacao. Put it in the microwave, melt it for 30 seconds or so, add a little bit of coconut milk, and then just with some berries, kind of like have this, it's like a chocolate dip at the end of the day. So berries or bananas or blueberries with chocolate, and this will be my craving satisfier. This will be my dessert when I really, really want chocolate, or when I really want something sweet. So that's a trick for you if you haven't tried that recipe. Again, maybe one scoop of raw honey, cacao powder, a little bit of milk, mix it up, microwave, and then just eat it with your favorite food, or just eat the spoon like right away. It's better than buying a Twix. It's better than buying any Snickers or an ice cream. Everything is better than ice cream, by the way, because if you eat ice cream, you're not only eating something that is too cold, so the body has to spend extra energy warming it up once you eat it. Second of all, you're eating dairy, which we already talked about dairy and all the negative things about that. And then third, you have sugar. So it's like the three things that can go wrong are going wrong in that with an ice cream. Summer is coming up. I'm not saying don't enjoy your ice cream. Just be aware, be conscious of like, okay, so I'm not only eating sugar, but I'm also it's a cold dish that I'm gonna have to spend more energy digesting, and plus it has a lot of sugar. So maybe go for a spoon or something and not the whole cone. Okay, Ju says that sounds good. I'll try it. Yeah, try that, Ju, because again, it's the stress is probably not gonna go away, right? You're in finals or things are happening in your life, so try to make sure you eat well throughout the day, and then just if you continue to have the craving, just get the raw honey with the cacao and make your small dessert. All right, ladies, well, it's almost 9. I'm so happy I was able to connect with you guys. This was a great conversation. Again, if you have any questions, post it in the comments. I hope it was helpful. We're going to have more conversations about sugar. Yeah, that's all for today, I think. If you're new to the group, please check your Facebook Messenger. I've been sending you some messages. I want to connect with you. I want to make sure that I can address some of the topics that you guys want to talk about in the group. Again, my mission here is just to really put a community together where we can support each other, talk about digestive issues, and just try to together feel healthier and better. Muna just joined. Hey, Muna, just welcome to the group. Welcome to the first Facebook Live. I was just chatting with you, I think, this morning, or I sent you a message. If you can, please re-watch the video. This is a very important topic. It's on sugar. I'm super happy that you're watching. Hi. And I sent you a Facebook Messenger, so make sure you check it out and that you review the video again. All right, everyone, so I'm gonna say goodbye. If you have any friends, family, any other women that are going through the same issues that you know they're suffering from, either constipation or they're suffering from acid reflux, whatever it is that has to do with digestion. A lot of people are suffering from feeling bloated, IBS, whatever that is, and you feel like my videos can help. Please go to the group. There is a link there where you can say invite people, share the link, invite them, and I will be happy to accept them in the group. Also, any questions or topics for any other Facebook videos, I'm interested to know what's in your mind, and again, I'm here to help. All right, Muna, I'm gonna go now, and have a good day and a week, everyone. Bye bye.